You've probably imagined it. What he does after you leave, how he spends the hours, whether he's okay, whether the silence bothers him, or the stillness, or the fact that the house that was full a moment ago is now completely empty except for him. Most owners imagine something sad, a dog lying by the door, unmoving, waiting in a kind of quiet grief for the hours to pass. But researchers have actually watched. They've set up cameras, measured hormones, tracked behavior in real time. And what they found is not a story of sadness. It is something far more complex, far more moving, and far more intimate than most people ever get to see. 8 things. 8 things your dog does alone at home, documented by science that will change what you picture when you close that door. The first thing he does is go to your things. Not right away, but within the first few minutes of your departure, once his nervous system has registered that you are gone and begun the process of adjusting. He will move through the house and he will find something of yours. A shoe near the door, the sweater you left on the back of the chair, the blanket on the couch where you always sit, a sock that fell. He won't destroy it. He won't chew it. He will carry it, or he will lie down beside it, or he will rest his chin on it in a way that, if you saw it on camera, would stop your breath. Studies on object carrying and scent comfort behavior in dogs have found that items saturated with the owner's scent produce measurable reductions in stress-related behaviors. Less pacing, lower heart rate, slower, more regulated breathing. The item is not a distraction, it is a substitute, a way of keeping you present in the only dimension you can still be present in when you're not there. He finds your things because they still carry you, and carrying you with him is the best option the world is currently offering. The second thing he does is sigh. If you have ever set up a camera, if you have ever watched the footage from those first quiet minutes after you leave, you may have seen it. He settles, he puts his head down, and then a long, slow exhale that fills the room with something that sounds in a way that is hard to dismiss, like the physical expression of missing someone. Animal behaviorists describe this as a displacement behavior, a release of physiological tension built up during the transition between your presence and your absence. It is not dramatic. It is not performed. There is no one watching. It is simply what his body does with the feeling of you being gone. Research measuring cortisol levels and heart rate variability in dogs during the post-departure period has found a consistent pattern. A brief spike in physiological arousal in the minutes immediately following separation, followed by a gradual settling into a calmer state. That sigh is the moment the settling begins. It is him finding his way to okay without you there to help him get there. It is one of the most private things he does. The third thing he does is go to your spot. He doesn't stay where he was. He moves. He goes to the chair you always sit in, or your side of the bed, or the particular corner of the sofa that has taken on the specific shape of you over hundreds of evenings. He turns in a slow circle, the way dogs do. He settles. He closes his eyes. The science behind this is by now well established. Your spot in the home is the single highest concentration of your scent available to him. It holds you at every layer, the warmth you left, the impression of your body, the traces deposited over months and years of ordinary evenings. To your dog's nervous system, lying in that spot is the closest available version of being with you. A study from the University of Veterinary Medicine in Vienna found that dogs exposed to their owner's scent during separation showed significantly lower stress markers than dogs in unscented environments. Lower cortisol, calmer heart rate, more regulated behavior throughout the rest of the alone period. He isn't in your spot because he's being territorial. He isn't there because he's spoiled or stubborn. He is there because that is where you are most present in a home from which you are absent. And being where you are most present is the best thing he knows how to do for himself right now. The fourth thing he does is listen for you. Throughout the day, at intervals that have no obvious pattern, he lifts his head. A sound from the hallway, a car on the street outside, the particular acoustic signature of the elevator or the gate or the front path. He lifts his head and his ears go forward, and for a moment, everything in him is oriented toward that sound, reading it, assessing it, asking the question his nervous system asks dozens of times a day. Is that her? Sometimes it isn't. He lowers his head. He settles again. But here's what that behavior reveals. He is not passively waiting. He is actively monitoring, running a continuous, alert, low-level scan of his environment for the specific signals that mean you are coming back. Your car, your footsteps, the particular rhythm of your approach that he has memorized down to the detail. Studies on anticipatory behavior in dogs have found that many dogs begin showing increased alertness and orientation toward the entrance of the home up to an hour before their owner's typical return time. Part of this is temporal. Dogs have a genuine sensitivity to daily rhythms. And part of it is olfactory. Your scent in the home fades throughout the day, and as it fades, his brain registers that the moment of your return is approaching. He is not just waiting for you. He is building toward you, all day, from the moment you leave until the moment you come back. The fifth thing he does is dream about you. This one is harder to prove and easier to believe. Research on dog sleep has established that dogs experience REM sleep, the phase associated with dreaming in humans. During REM sleep, dogs show the same physiological markers humans do: irregular breathing, rapid eye movements, occasional small twitching movements of the paws and face. A study from MIT, replicated across multiple institutions, found that animals in REM sleep show brain activity patterns that correspond to the experiences of their waking lives. They are, in the most literal scientific sense, replaying their days. What does your dog replay when he sleeps? Researchers at Harvard who study animal dreaming have suggested that dogs most likely dream about the social experiences of their day, the interactions that mattered most, the people who mean the most to them. Not the food, not the toys. The relationships. You are the most significant social experience in his life. Day after day, you are the primary event. The arrival, the departure, the reunion, the ordinary hours of shared space. When he sleeps in your spot in the quiet of the afternoon and his paws begin to move, and something crosses his face that looks, if you are willing to let it, like happiness, he may well be dreaming of you. The science can't prove it completely, but it can't rule it out. And everything we know about how dogs process experience and form attachment suggests that if he dreams of anyone, it is you. The sixth thing he does is lose a little of his appetite. You may never have made this connection, but if your dog sometimes barely finishes his food during the day, or shows less enthusiasm than usual, or seems flat in a way that's hard to name, this is documented. Research published in the journal Applied Animal Behavior Science found that dogs in households with strong owner-pet bonds showed measurable changes in eating behavior during their owner's absence. Reduced appetite, less enthusiasm for food, a general flatness that lifted in most cases almost immediately upon the owner's return. This is not a medical issue, it is an emotional one. The neurological systems that govern social connection and the systems that govern appetite are not separate. They influence each other. The suppression of appetite in response to the absence of a primary attachment figure has been documented in multiple social species. Primates, humans, dogs. He's not hungry the same way when you're not there. Something is missing from the meal. Something is missing from the room. And his body, which is more honest than he can be in any other way, reflects that. The seventh thing he does is check the door. Multiple times throughout the day, he goes back to the front door. Not every minute, not with visible distress, just a return, a check, a nose at the threshold, sometimes a moment of stillness in the hallway, and then he turns and walks back to wherever he was. Researchers studying dog behavior during owner absence using in-home cameras have noted this pattern consistently. Dogs who show no signs of separation anxiety, no destructive behavior, no excessive vocalization, no obvious distress, still return periodically to the point of the owner's last departure. It is a form of location maintenance. The door is the last known point of contact. It is where you disappeared and where you will reappear. And checking it, returning to it, maintaining awareness of it, is his way of staying connected to you in the only physical way currently available. He is not anxious at that door. He is faithful. There is a difference. and it matters. The eighth thing he does is wait for the sound that means everything is okay. In the window of time before you usually come home, whether he calculates it by scent, by the quality of the light, by the sounds of the neighborhood changing as the day shifts, something changes in him. He becomes more alert, more oriented toward the front of the house. His resting posture shifts from deep relaxation to a kind of quiet readiness. He is not agitated, he is not distressed, he is simply ready. He has been missing you all day in the quiet, private ways that no one ever sees. He has slept in your spot and found your things and listened for your footsteps and eaten a little less than usual and dreamed of something his paws chased in his sleep. And now the information available to him, the scent fading just enough, the light shifting just enough, the world outside sounding just enough like it does when you come home, is telling him that the waiting is almost over. He stands near the door or the window or wherever he can be closest to the place where you will appear. And he waits for the specific sound, the key, the gate, the particular rhythm of your feet. That means the day is ending the right way. That sound means she came back. That sound means I was right to wait. That sound means everything is exactly as it should be. He hears it, and everything in him responds. 8 things. 8 quiet, private, daily acts of love that happen in the hours you're not there to see them. He carries your things and sleeps in your spot and listens for your car and eats a little less and dreams of something and checks the door and waits for you to come back. Not because he has to, not because he was trained to, but because you are his whole world, and a world without you in it is a world he is simply passing time in until you return. You never see any of it, but it happens every single day. He loves you when you're not watching, in a room you're not in the hours when there's nothing to perform for and nothing to gain. He loves you in the most private, honest, unwitnessed way that love can exist. That is real. That is yours. You just had to know where to look. Does your dog do any of these? Have you ever caught him on camera doing something that surprised you? Tell me in the comments. I want to hear everything. And if you want to know the 6 specific behaviors that prove your dog would choose you over literally anyone else, that video is right here. I promise it will stay with you.